In Book 1 of Christmas in My Heart, compiled and edited by Joe Wheeler, we find a story by Ruth C. Ikerman. This is The Promise of the Doll. When I met my friend on the crowded street, she held out her hand to me and said, "I hope you can help me. I'm desperate." Wearily, she explained, "I'm about to cry and it's all over a doll. I simply have to find this doll for my granddaughter." As tears filled her eyes, I remembered the terrible shock we had all felt over the death of her daughter, who had been such a vivacious young mother until stricken several months before. The young husband was doing a fine job with the little girl, but it was on the grandmother that much of the burden of planning for good things remained. And this explained her Christmas errand. "I blame myself entirely," she told me, "for not starting earlier, but I never thought it would be a problem to find one of those special dolls. Yet there is not one of this variety left in town." I asked her, "Well, why can't you settle for another kind of doll?" She shook her head. One of the last things my daughter ever said to me before the pain got so bad was how sorry she was that she had refused to buy this doll for her little girl. She told me she had thought the child was too young for such a doll and had refused to buy it for her birthday, supposing there were lots of occasions ahead when she could get it for her. Then she told the rest of the story. The little girl had come to her mother's bedside and asked whether the doll might arrive at Christmas time. The young mother grasped the tiny little hand in hers and said, "I promise you this for Christmas." Then she had asked her own mother to do this one thing: just make sure that my little girl gets that doll this Christmas. Now my friend was about to fail in her mission. "It's all my fault," she kept repeating. "I waited until too late. It will take a miracle now." Secretly, I agreed, but I tried to keep up a polite facade of courage. "Maybe the child has forgotten and will be happy with something else." Grimly, my friend replied, "She may forget, but I won't." We parted to go our separate ways. With my mind only half on my shopping, I found the ribbon a neighbor wanted to finish a baby blanket she was making. A few minutes later, I stopped at her door to leave the package and was invited inside. Her two little girls sat on the floor playing with their dolls. As I sat down, I noticed that one of the dolls was the same type my friend was seeking. Hopefully, I asked, "Can you remember where you bought that doll?" My neighbor gave me a warm-hearted smile. "That's not a doll," she said. "She's a member of the family, and as near as I can tell, she probably was born and not made. She came to us by plane from a favorite aunt in the East." So I told her that I had a friend who was searching frantically for such a doll for a little girl whose mother had passed away during the year. Apparently unaware of us, the two children played happily. The mother and I spoke in adult words about facing loss at the holiday time and how much we wished we could help my friend. Later, when I got up to leave, the two little girls followed me to the door. "Dolly is ready to leave too," they told me. Sure enough, she was well dressed in a velveteen coat and hat with a white fur muff. "Where is Dolly going?" I asked. They laughed happily. "With you, of course. You know where the lady lives, don't you? The one who needs the doll so bad?" I started to tell them that of course I couldn't take this doll. Then I looked at their faces, happy in the moment of giving. If I say the wrong thing now, something within my heart warned, I may ruin their joy of giving for the rest of their lives. Silently, I took the doll, fumbling with my car keys so they did not see the mist over my eyes. Their mother asked, "Are you both sure you want to do this?" They answered, "Yes, we do." The mother put her arms around them tenderly. Later, I rang the doorbell of my friend. Don't ask me how I got it, for I can't talk just yet. The doll is a little smudgy, but the worn places are from kisses, and maybe they won't show under the Christmas lights. She fondled the doll as though it were made of precious metal. Tears of joy welled up in the woman's eyes when I finally was able to tell the story. "How can I ever thank those children enough?" she asked. They already have received a blessing greater than anything you or I could give them, I told her. I saw their faces when they offered me the doll to bring to you. And it was true. In the moment of giving, they had also received, in ways past our finding out. A miracle had taken place. A promise could be kept, linking here with there, in the eternal circle of love of which the great gift of Christmas itself is a part.